In the game of Texas Holdem, your starting hand can make or break your chances of winning. Some hands are simply better than others, and knowing which ones to avoid can save you from disaster at the poker table. In this article, we'll go into detail into the top 8 worst starting hands in Texas Holdem poker. From the notorious 7-2 offsuit, known affectionately as the worst hand in poker, to other troublesome combinations like 2-7 offsuit, 3-8 offsuit, and more. We'll explore why these hands spell trouble for players. Understanding these poor starting hands is essential for beginners to avoid costly mistakes and improve their overall game strategy. Discover the thrill of competitive card games as you play poker online with us. Subscribe us and comment for us. In poker, there are certain worst hands in poker or worst cards in poker that can break the game for you. So, if you have been dealt a bad poker hand or worst hand in poker consisting of 7-2 offsuit, you would want to know your winning odds. Therefore, we have detailed the win percentage relative to each of the worst cards in poker or worst hand in poker. This information would help you decide whether to play the worst hand in 5-card poker or to fold in Texas Holdem. Worst starting hand in poker, 7-2 offsuit. The 7-2 offsuit is the worst hand in poker and the worst poker hand to play pre-flop. Why? Because both 2 and 7 are the 2 lowest ranking and worst cards in poker, and thus are ideal to fold in Texas Holdem. Vital to this, with 7-2 offsuit, bad poker hand, which is the worst hand in poker or worst hand in 5-card poker, you cannot make a straight because there are 5 cards between 7-2 offsuit. Moreover, with the worst hand in poker called 7-2 offsuit, you cannot even make a high flush. In fact, with this bad poker hand, or the worst hand in poker, the pair is also not a possibility, because with this worst hand in poker, even a pair would be a low, bad poker hand. It is perhaps due to the 7-2 offsuit, bad poker hand's low playability, that a hand consisting of 7-2 offsuit is regarded as a really worst hand in poker or worst hand in 5-card poker. Additionally, the 7-2 offsuit, worst starting hand in Texas Holdem, or the worst hand in poker has a win percentage of only 4%. Therefore, when it comes to 7-2 offsuit, the right way to play this bad poker hand, or the worst hand in poker in most cases, is to fold in Texas Holdem. Worst starting hand in poker, 2-8. This worst poker hand to play, and the worst hand in poker, is called a 2-8 offsuit. The 2-8 offsuit is the second worst hand in Texas Holdem, or the worst hand in 5-card poker. It is because, unlike a 7-2 offsuit, you can neither make a straight nor a flush with this bad poker hand, and hence is regarded as one of the worst hands in poker. You can make a pair with this bad poker hand, or the worst hand in poker, but again, that would be a low pair. Moreover, this worst poker hand to play, or worst hand in 5-card poker, has a win percentage of only 4.20%. Therefore, in the case of the second worst hand in 5-card poker or worst card in poker, the right way is to fold in Texas Holdem, preferably pre-flop. Worst starting hands in poker, 3-8 and 3-7. This particular worst poker hands to play, and one of the worst hands in poker, is called 3-8 offsuit and 3-7 offsuit. These worst hands in Texas Holdem, or the worst hands in poker, are slightly better than 7-2 offsuit, worst card in poker, but still, these bad poker hands, or the worst hands in poker, cannot make a straight or a flush. The pairs, if made using these worst starting hands in poker, or worst hands in Texas Holdem, would be effectively low pairs. Additionally, these bad poker hands, or the worst hands in poker, have a win percentage of only 4.30%. Thus, it is better to fold in Texas Holdem with these worst hands in poker and worst poker hands to play at the earliest. Worst starting hands in poker, 2-9, 3-9, and 4-9. A 2-9 offsuit is the worst poker hand to play and the worst hand in poker. Further worst hand in 5-card poker, or the worst hand in poker, is a 3-9 offsuit, and the 4-9 offsuit 2 is considered to be worst hand in poker or worst hand in 5-card poker. Each of these worst hands in Texas Hold'em or worst hands in five-card poker have a win percentage between 450–470%, precisely because even if you are dealt a bad poker hand or worst hand in poker, such as 2.3.4, along with a 9, all you have in case of these worst cards in poker or worst hands in poker is a 9. If the 9 from the worst hand in poker called or worst hand in Texas Hold'em does pair, it would still make a middle pair. Moreover, with these worst hands in poker, or the worst hands in poker so-called, you can neither make a straight nor a flush. Thus, in the case of worst hands in Texas Hold'em or worst hands in five-card poker, the right way forward is to fold in Texas Hold'em. Worst starting hand in poker, 2-6. The 2-6 offsuit has one of the worst cards in poker, and hence is one of the worst hands in poker, precisely because with this worst starting hand in poker or the worst hand in poker, you cannot make a straight, flush, or winning pair. Additionally, since this worst starting hand in poker and worst hand in poker, so-called, has a win percentage of only 4.70%, it is better to fold in Texas Hold'em. Worst starting hand in poker, 2-10. This worst poker hand to play, and the worst hand in poker is called the Doyle-Brunson hand. Why? Because with 2-10 offsuit, the worst hand in poker so-called, Brunson actually captured 2 World Series of Poker bracelets. But Brunson's victory does not change the truth that 2-10 offsuit is the worst hand in Texas Hold'em, worst poker hand to play pre-flop, and ideal to fold in Texas Hold'em. Because akin to 7-2 offsuit, with this worst hand in poker or the worst poker hand to play, you cannot make a straight, flush, or even a winning pair. In fact, this worst hand in five-card poker or worst hand in poker has a win percentage of 4.90%. Thus, many players prefer to fold in Texas Hold'em when they are dealt 2-10 offsuit, the worst hand in poker or the worst hand in five-card poker. Worst starting hand in poker, 9-5. After 2-10 offsuit, the worst poker hand to play and the worst hand in poker is 9-5 offsuit. This worst hand in five-card poker or bad poker hand has a win percentage of 4.95%. Thus, if you are actually dealt this worst card in poker or the worst hand in Texas Hold'em, the best way forward is to fold in Texas Hold'em. The probability of getting a full house in poker depends on the specific variant being played and the number of community cards dealt. Worst starting hand in poker, face card and low card. One of the worst poker hands to play, or the worst cards in poker, are the ones that consist of a face card and a low card, both unsuited. Though these worst hands in Texas Hold'em or worst hand in five-card poker sometimes win the pot, mostly such bad poker hands, or the worst hands in poker end up losing to better hands. Relatively, such worst hands in poker, or the worst hands in poker, so-called, have a win percentage of 5–30%. Thus, if you are dealt the worst hand in Texas Hold'em or worst hand in five-card poker, it is better to fold in Texas Hold'em. So these are the top 8 worst poker hands to play, or worst hands in poker. If you are dealt any of these worst hands in Texas Hold'em or worst cards in poker, then think strategically and fold in Texas Hold'em, the worst starting hands in poker if required.